What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out Myriads Renaissance. This is a 4X strategy game that takes place on kind of an interesting animated sort of calligraphy-style map, where you are the king of a kingdom that's on top of a floating island. Everyone gets around using airships and cannons and all that kind of stuff, and you can rope new areas into your domain by attaching them with big old chains. This is a demo of the game, as you might be able to tell from the massive message down here in the bottom right that says a demo. And so anyways, we've been given access to about the first 80 turns of the game so that we can determine whether or not it's something you want to put on your wish list. And that's exactly what we're going to do right here, right now. The challenge has been issued. So let's dive on in. We got about 25-30 minutes to kill, and we're going to see if it's any good. If after watching this, you wanted to hang out with me more for whatever reason, I don't really know. Maybe you just need more hugs or something. You can look down below in my Discord, and you can also look down below on my Twitch stream. I'm live on both of those things pretty much all day, every day. So let's dive on in. New game! I like this jaunty music that it's got going right now. Well, there's a dog emblem, so I gotta take that one. What should we call our faction? We shall call them the Pupsmiths. There we go. That's a good-looking dog right there. I definitely want a 10 out of 10. Would pet. Let's go ahead and create our faction. We'll leave it on normal difficulty, and let's walk through some of the stuff that comprises the overall gameplay of Myriads Renaissance. Okay, so here we are. We start out with control of pretty much all of these little areas right here. We can build stuff on these little islands, these little supplementary items, but for the terms of the gameplay, we live on these islands right here. All of these ones we can attach like sort of supplementary buildings to them, but nothing that's like directly connected to the kingdom. It's all stuff like exploitation stations and like logistical centers, stuff like that. So anyways, we gotta pick a place for our capital to go. I don't want to waste good land in that forest over there. So what I am going to do is I'm going to put my capital right there so that we got this nice little straight running on through where ships can land. It doesn't actually work like that, but like in my head canon, that's the way that it works. So there's our city. I have no idea what this meter does right here. I assume it's how many turns it's going to be until I spontaneously combust. I've got a pretty good idea what everything else does, but this meter right here, I thought about just sitting and passing turns to find out what happens when it fills up, but just didn't do it. So anyways, things you need to be aware of inside the context of Myriads Renaissance. Up in the top left, we've got our faction emblem. This right here is how many ships we have under our command. Right here, we can take a look at the archipelagos that we own. Right here, we can take a look at shipments, which I haven't quite gotten to yet. We can look at deals right here for like trading and stuff like that. This is our tech tree, which in the context of the demo is not like super crazy and large. However, the game is divided up into eras. The eras are not like specifically named like, you know, the medieval into the Renaissance or whatever else, but it's just reasonably assumed that when you get to a certain point, you've moved on to the next era, and you can use that to judge your progress against the other factions. We buy stuff inside that menu by using science, and then gold is kind of the general purpose currency that we have for just about everything else. As of right now, we have a market that comes with our main thing that gives us 200 gold per turn, and 100 gold per turn is being spent maintaining this little ship right here, this galleon or whatever it is. I don't honestly know exactly. Apparently, it's a galleon, the Thrasher. And so this is the overworld map right here. We can send our ship out to conquer areas and basically expand our domain and wipe out enemies that are inside the area. For right now, I think what would be really wise is we should go and get that science right there. So our Thrasher will fight with the Lost Secrets for how many turns? For 2 turns. He's going to go to battle with this guy right here, and once he knocks this over, it's going to supply us with a little bit of science so that we can advance our society, which I feel like is a really, really good idea for right now. Back on into the capital, I think that in the early game, we've got a couple of things to balance here. We've got our population. You need 1 population for pretty much every building that you're going to deploy on any hex. We've got our houses right here. Houses are basically how much population you can have. All of these tiles that are inside of our domain will supply us with a single population space, but if we pave these and turn them into sort of like buildable city areas on concrete, like this little area right here, they'll provide 2 for us instead of the 1, but it costs a lot of production to pave areas, so just kind of keep that in mind. Right here, we have our island size. It is 15 right now, and we are pretty much locked out of going any larger. We've got the amount of food that we have, basically food comes from our food production. The amount of population we have is subtracted from that, and then the surplus that's left over is added on into our population growth, which can be seen over here on the right. Anytime you hit 20 extra food, a human spontaneously erupts from the pile of rye, just like in real life. Over here, we've got our production. That's basically how fast we build. A building will say it costs 30 production. And so with 10 production, you can reasonably guess that that building's going to take 3 turns in order to produce. And then we have goods over here, which is fantastic because honestly, we just don't have enough warehouse space for bads. All right, down here in the bottom right, you can bypass your turn, and that's pretty much all you need to know about Myriads Renaissance in the first 80 turns. Let's go ahead and build a building over here. What I like to build first is a farm. A farm kind of has to go into like an open space, like a marsh or something like that. We could also potentially put it... Well, in my other playthrough, I could place buildings on these little outlying islands right there, but I guess I can't do it in this one. We'll put the farm right there. That sounds good. That's going to be done in 3 turns. And so, a little bit of wasted production right there. I would have liked to have seen this be closer to 30 so that we're not wasting that overhanging 6. But let's bypass some turns. Nothing's going to happen for like 2 or 3 turns anyways. So we'll just quickly skip-a-roonies on through. All right, so we have won our battle against the people on the overworld map. Unfortunately, my galleon has been slightly wounded by the experience, but the good news is we got some research, so we can spend that on something. I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the game, there's really only like 1 research that we can buy. And so anyways, it's galleons healing. So if I bring these galleons back to an island that I own, they will begin to regenerate. And that's going to be really, really important. So I would recommend you take that. Otherwise, what's going to happen is this guy's going to slowly get attritioned down. And after he gets attrition down, he's not going to be able to kind of like expand your influence or conquer anything anymore. One of the other things that I think the game doesn't really mention too much is that you can build things here on this overworld map if you want to. Every single one of these islands that's constrained inside of like this dog bone. Oh, that's on theme right there. See, we're a dog faction and then our territory looks like a bone. Huh? Content, baby. Content. You love to see it. Stuff like this never happens to me when I'm on camera, man. I'm so excited about it. I never get easy access to content like this. We can't afford to go attack something else. I think we can either hit these little junctions right here, which will allow us to go to other archipelagos, or we can go hit this treasure chest, which will give us the mun-muns. Let's go get some, yeah, let's get some shekels or dinar or like some shkirlingas, you know, some marks, some francs out of this chest over here. That sounds good. That'll give us, I think, a couple $100 to play around with, too. All right, so nothing's going to happen for a couple more turns, so we're just going to chillax. We've got our farm up and running. I don't know where we're at with our population growth right now. It's going to be another 3 turns before we can really do too much with our population growth, so we'll keep on bypassing. The galleon's victorious. We got $300 right there. Let's take it to the overworld map and see what we can diddly-doodly with it. These guys, they're inside friendly territory, so they will regenerate all by their lonesome. We don't really have to worry about it. They've got a big batch of 80 swordsmen on board this thing. Nice. That's they've got them crammed into the galleyways there. They got them sleeping in pots and pans. Okay. We have enough no, I don't want to command you. I wanted to like build a thing. So over here, we can make some defenses, and actually, since this is within 1 hex of both of those gates, I feel like a tower is a really good idea right here, but I think we may need a technology for it before we can build the tower. Is there a technology for that? So we've got productivity boost, we've got lighthouses, exploitation colonies, we've got warehouses. What else we got around here? Headquarters, ship movement, defense, traveling storehouse. For whatever reason, it looks like I can't build anything right there. There's probably like a supplementary boat or something I need in order to do anything interesting with this right here. Yeah, for right now, everything's grayed out, and it looks like there's nothing that we can really build on there. I would have liked to have done the tower right here, so that if any enemies decide to slip the gate once we get it all unlocked in a few turns, we won't have to worry about it. But let's get our next population up so that we can actually build something. So it's turn 6 right there, and one of the things that I do like about this game is that it's animated pretty well. Like, when you make these little buildings and whatnot, airships will start to travel in between your outlying buildings and, like, your main capital. If you've got like a large separated area, so like on the last map I played, this foresty thing was all the way on the other side, but I could still build on it. What ends up happening is they make like these ley lines that go, so they basically look like gondola lines, that go in between, and then the airships, they follow the big rope lines in order to get over there so that they don't get lost. And so anyways, kind of like lots of cool little immersive things that the game's got going on. One more turn, and we've got a population. All right, so we've got a population on this turn. We can now do something. Doing something is pretty cool. What I would like to do is I'd like to get our money up. That way I can start to think about the possibility of maintaining another fleet. We can build a mine over here, which I think is a pretty good idea, so I'm going to do that. The mine's going to be 5 turns out. It's going to be a while before the mine is mine. Right now, it's not a mine, it's a theirs, and the them is the bank. And so anyways, we're going to wait till we pay off our production debt here. I'm going to get this guy started knocking holes in this fort over here. So we'll send him over there to go fight with that guy. I don't know what that guy ever did to us. Maybe he's a cat person. I'm not entirely sure. I too am a cat person, but I split my time between the kitties and the doggies. Got 2 cats, 2 dogs, and that's way, way too much for the house that I currently live in. They have actually completed their conquest of that area. Apparently, we now have enough gold to build a hospital or a tower. You can build on every island you own by spending gold. Was it just kind of hard-locked by the tutorial? Oh, it was. It was just hard-locked by the tutorial. This guy's going to cost me minus 100 gold per turn, which is actually a pretty significant deficit. And so I'm a little bit worried about that. Yeah, let's send these guys over to here, and we'll take a look and just kind of see what's in this territory over here. Hopefully we don't get ourselves embroiled in any type of... Actually, go back and heal up real quick. I want you to get some HPs back. And we can pass like, oh my god, is that piratical forces I see entering my territory? Yo, what's going on with you, brother? Yeah, I'm just going to kind of dippity-doo on over to this side just in case you try to get rowdy with me. Yeah, he's trying to get rowdy. I think he wants to snuggle. Let's go boat fight him. Sir, I engage you in admirable and noble naval sky combat. You will fight me. You will feel the sting of my saber. And also the burn of my broadside. I shall bring to you and your shabby kind the 8-pound shot as you are deserving, sir. Did we ever finish off that building? Did we ever get the mine done? Yeah, we did. The mine is all good to go. You loves to see it. We also have another population over here that we can play around with. What do I want to do with said population? I don't know. We can build a boat dock so that we can build more combat ships. Can't really afford more combat ships right now. That would be the important thing that I would kind of point out. But we could do it. I mean, we could take like a minus 40 deficit for like 25 turns plus. And so it wouldn't be like the worst idea. The other option is we could start paving tiles to give ourselves a little bit more space. I don't know what I like better. Let's go ahead and take another farm. I'm a big fan of population growth. So I think I'm going to maintain, like, I'd like to be able to hit our cap. And as of right now, it seems like we're slowing down pretty good. So I think we're going to need another one of those right there. Back on up to the world map. We're going to chillax for a second. We're going to win this fight against the pirates. There you go. I love that they made a little animation where the pirate actually gets shot down and falls. That's very, very nice. I'm going to open up another, yeah, let's go ahead and fight them real fast, too. And then we'll come back and we'll kind of, like, reset our HP and get things going. That meter kind of scares me. I don't like what that meter's got going on. It worries me. Did our farm get built? Yeah, my farm done been built. So we should, yeah, go to the capital island. We should have +6, so next turn we will have another population, which is great. Over here, we have won the battle. I'm going to go ahead and put you right there. And honestly, I feel like the tower right there is the thing that I want. So we'll go ahead and put in a defensive tower so that if anybody tries to slip on past and skeef the gates, we can protect our territory. It looks like we can build a lighthouse. So if your ship passes a lighthouse, it uses less movement. Oh, nice. So that'll be cool, too. We can use it as kind of like a guidepost. I've got a feeling we're going to get attacked before too long, though. I've got a bad feeling right now. I got a funny feeling about that. We'll zoom in on the capital island, and for right now, we've got a minus 40 going on with our financial deductions. I believe that necessitates that we will have to deploy another mine just to take care of the financial issues and, like, You know, like, there's a lot of people I'll mess with in this life, but the revenue man, the treasury man, and the man from the Medicis, you know, the banking establishment, those are the ones that I don't mess with. So we'll let that cruise for a minute. We don't really have a whole lot going on. I'm going to go to the overworld map so that I can just kind of keep my peepers out for anybody that decides to cause a problem. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, is that somebody's going to cruise on through and try to give us the old knuckles. I'm going to go over here, and I just kind of want to see how the tower does. Okay. It sunk him instantly. See, I was being a little bit worried, like, what does 40 damage mean? I think 40 damage literally just annihilates this number right here, like your attack power. Good. Well, now that we know that the capital is defended from most directions we can be attacked from, let's get some more science right there. I would like to get a new technology or two. We've got another population bumping around, so that's really, really nice. We'll zoom in on the capital island. The mine is up and running, and as you can see, they've got their little gondola system right now, so they're playing around with skiffs. Because we have a little bit of extra money, but not a lot of extra money, I do think developing our economy to be a little bit stronger may be a direction that we want to go in. So we've got 7 turns until we pick up another population. When we get that research, I'm probably going to spend it on production output right here. So it looks like increases the production of farms, sawmills, and mines for each identical adjacent building located on the same shard. Well, now I really feel like I messed up by not making... Well, those two are adjacent, so they'll get the production, but these guys are not adjacent. I do like that as your population grows, it fills in the little gaps with houses and, like, livable areas. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. Let's go ahead and we'll put in some pavement over there. That'll pop us up to 5 housing space left, and I'll think about putting another farm right here. I'll contemplate it so that we can get the food output bonus, but I don't know if it's a good idea. Why not? It's going to queue those up. We got stuff going on. Let's go and play around on the overworld map for a little bit. We've got another pirate boat coming on in, but I don't think he can get to the capital. Yeah, without going to that adjacent tile right there. So I think we're probably good. You continue cruising on into enemy territory and just let me know what you see. What you see. So we've got something right here. What art thou? Just like a forming pirate force right there. Okay, I'm going to kill you because I don't want to deal with you later. The idea of dealing with you later frustrates and annoys me, so I'm going to kill you right now. I just need you to know that it's not personal. It's just like, you know, oh, they've got a lair over here, and the lair has 33 attack. Well, that's just hideously inappropriate. I don't like that at all. So, like, these guys right here look like they are a faction or, like, the ruins of a faction, possibly. Actually, no. I think this is the neighboring territory. Nobody lives here. If we had a shipyard, we could build a ship that could come over here and colonize this. But I'm sort of thinking that my next ship should be a battleship so that I can wipe out these corsairs and maybe kick off a little bit of kind of violence, I guess. Yeah, let's just cruise on back home and heal real fast. Actually, we'll go over to here and we'll see if there's anything else that we can kind of slug it out with. There is some free money right there, and free money sounds like a good idea. Find a penny, pick it up, and all that day you'll have a penny. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll fight with them right there real fast. I can't express how much I very much like this old school naval map right here. I like this a lot. And then another feature that I like is if you zoom out, the naval map is actually underneath the play grid that you're playing on top of. That's very stylized and very cool. I like it. We have an extra population. Don't necessarily know what I want to do with them just yet. For right now, I think we should retreat back to our territory, and we should get some HP back. That's what I'm thinking. Is there anything that I can build over here? So I've got one extra population. We've got 700 gold to muck about with. Let's maybe go with... Yeah, I think I am going to go after the shipyard. We'll go ahead and plop in the shipyard right there. That sounds like a pretty solid plan. Our production still seems to be okay, but I would contemplate putting one production building over here just to bump us up from like 10 to 16 per turn. That'd be nice. Just an extra little oomph to kind of get, like, things out the door. I did need to get the production boost. That's what I needed. Oh, so this is going to let us build tugboats, which can drag those other islands over and add them to our landmass. I like that idea a lot. That's actually a really appealing idea. There was another strategy game that was a real-time strategy game that played around with that idea of you being a wizard who's towing sky islands together and connecting them. And for the life of me, I can't remember the name of the game now. Let's go with the productivity boost first, because that's the one that we directly... Yeah, dude, we just got... We didn't get that much extra money. It only gave us a +10 on cash, but it gave us a +6 on food from this little connection that we've made right here, Settlers of Catan style. Anybody have wood for sheep, by the way? Let's go ahead and once that's done, we'll probably build a tug, and I'll more than likely bring this guy and drag him over so he attaches right here. I'll drag this guy over so he attaches right here, and that seems like something I can get behind. Let me go up to the main map real fast. We'll get this guy back into friendly territory. I guess he already used his movement for the turn. There we go. And so now he is in full stage regeneration. You know, that meter is like slowly creeping upwards, and I'm a little bit concerned about what that means. It could be like a revolution. It could be just like we've got to deal with our island being on fire. It could be like a catastrophe that we've got to deal with. But that meter is going up far more rapidly than I expected it to go up, so I'm starting to feel a little bit nervous about my safety. We can't rename our territory either. Like, I was going to name it Glorious Most Holy Pupperdom, but unfortunately I'm not allowed to do that. That's got one more turn left. That's fine. We're just waiting and healing on the top map. All right, so over here we've got galleons, settlers, and a tugs. How much does a tuggy boy cost me? Adds a shard to your capital island. Let's do it. Let's shart the place up. While you're here, start moving over this way. We're going to kind of scout around over here, too. Actually, go in this direction. All right, so we've got tugs. Your capital island is made of shards put together. Any surrounding shard can be added with a tug. Each of these shards is made up of 3 tiles. There are no mountains shards. The maximum number of tiles to your capital are limited. Technologies will allow you to increase that maximum. Oh, no, dude, I made a tuggy boy, but I'm at maximum size right now, dude. I'm already in full big boy mode. Rip. Okay, well, I guess scout over there then. We'll see if we can find some more science around here somewhere. We got 2 population bumping along, huh? There's the science we were looking for. Go ahead and duke it out with them so that I can increase the size of my shards. Over here, what can I get away with? Can I pave a tile? Okay, I can't pave a tile over there. But what I would recommend is, so what happens when you run out of housing? Well, when you run out of housing space and your population exceeds that space, what happens is you end up with a homeless tile. What the homeless tile does is it comes out with a chain and it's on a little rock on the side of your island, and it basically deducts a bunch of food consumption and productivity, and you have to spend money effectively to exile them and get rid of them. And so it becomes one of those things that can be kind of a headache, in my opinion. So you really don't want to end up with too many of those guys sort of rattling around. I don't know. I think it has to be adjacent to the capital for us to build a paved square. So I'm going to do that right there. We've got the extra population, so I'm going to go ahead and get my sawmill that I've been dreaming about. We've got another population over here, and I think we could use some more money. And so I'm going to just plop in a mine over there that's got double adjacency, so both these guys will get a +10, and he should get a +20, as far as I know. We're fighting for science over here. Our answer to the great question is superior. All right, so there's 8 more science. Let's go ahead and increase the size of our maximum island. Sounds good, and I want to use one of these little tuggy boys over here. All right, so add a shard. There we go. That's the stuff. How long does that take? Oh, it's just next turn. He drags it over and chains it up. Sweet, dude. So now we've got 18 spaces. So we've got a little bit more to play around with over here, which I think is going to be advantageous. I will more than likely pave one of those so that I can get my pop cap up, because more than anything else, I'd like to avoid a homeless situation around here. We'll take you over to here. There's another Corsair's Landing, which kind of sucks. I'm not pleased with that. It's going to kind of depend if he attacks me or not. We've got a little bit more money, but I don't think we're hurting for money right now. So I'm not really going to mess around with it. I'm going to leave him stationary right here for a minute. And there's some more science. That right there is what I'm looking for. This guy's going to get gunned down by my tower anyways, so it doesn't really matter if he decides to attack me. It's kind of irrelevant. Our tower defense game on point. We've got our city section built right there, and the place is growing out to be pretty nice. This should be done next turn so that we have a little bit more production. Let's see here. Enemy ships and lairs are getting stronger. I don't think it's going to matter because I deal 40 damage with my tower. So they're going to have to level up quite a bit faster, but it does look like their fortress has gotten a little bit tougher. We claimed that science right there, which I'm happy for, because that means we can get a barracks, which means we can load our ships up with more soldiers, which then in turn increases their ability to kick ass and take names. So I think I'll probably do that, because we do have a lot of pirate areas that sort of need to be sussed out and eliminated. And as you can see here from our galleon, it looks like we can fit... Oh, never mind. No, we can't. Those are grayed out. So I guess we need a larger ship before we can add more soldiers to it. I'm going to have him autopilot back over to here just in case I forget. No, don't go back to the capital. Just go back to there. But that's pretty much it. Wait, what just happened? Oh, that's the escalation of the map. Okay, so like when that goes up, the enemies get harder. And so there's actually, I don't think there's other kingdoms or factions maybe. I think we may just be fighting against the piratical scourge on the high sky seas, I guess. So anyways, my name is Splattercat. This game is called Myriads Renaissance, and I hope that you really enjoyed it. I've got high hopes for this one, that it's going to turn out to be something pretty cool. I will see you all later. If you don't know who I am and what I do, and you came here by accident through just kind of YouTube's inner algorithm sorcery, welcome. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. I appreciate you hanging out and sharing your time with me. So I will see you all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. But until then, I must bid you adieu.